Hello, everyone. You are listening to Those Other Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory, and we, me, you, are changing culture and bringing back traditional values. Plink. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I'm drinking from the Saturdays Are for Weekly Teacup mugs that are available on our website. And if you are a Patreon, you would have gotten one for free already. I hope you are enjoying it. I hope you are sipping from your Saturdays Are for Weekly Teacups mug and listening to this episode. So sorry it's coming out a little bit later than normal. Such a busy week. As you can see, this is a special solo mile episode. It's going to be shorter. Not going to talk about as much. A lot of cool things going on, a lot of cool things in the future that we're going to be looking forward to. But first, I want to say this episode is brought to you by American Woman Beauty. You should join the revolution, the beauty revolution. These beauty products are made for free-thinking women. If you're watching, the lipstick I'm wearing, this red matte, if you're watching on YouTube, is from there. This mascara I'm wearing, it is honestly my favorite mascara. I really, really like it. Is from there. And then I really want to talk about really quick the latest product they have. It is the Life Palette. Absolutely love it. It's limited edition and it has just pinks and blues, and 10% of all of the purchases of this is going to pregnancy resource centers. So, we love that here. We support businesses that support our values. Hopefully, if you are hearing about it through Those Are the Girls, there's a discount code if we're doing like an ad for it. It is a business that supports our values. That is our goal. We might not get it right every single time. I'm saying this in case, we talk about someone and then years later it turns out they're evil or something. Our goal is to always support businesses that support our values. So in my mug, I am drinking my 7 Weeks coffee, the light roast, because I want the most amount of caffeine because I have a lot to do today as well. A couple things. So this week, super busy. We had Oops Spoilers, Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin, episodes 1 through 3. The review came out on Wednesday. This week I also finished all 10 episodes. Wild, wild story. That's all I'm going to say, you guys. Make sure, if you want to if you don't want an oops spoiler, make sure you watch all of the 10 episodes in the next, I'll say 3 or 4, in the next month or so, because that's when I'll do the review, and I think I'll hopefully have someone come on and do the review with me, and we'll talk about what happened out through all the 10 episodes, but the first 3 are out, and if you want to know how it holds up to the original, if you want to know if you should watch it, if you want to hear my score, you should check that out. Available on Spotify and YouTube. Currently also, Diapers and Degrees is out, which is our first non-me. I'm not in the show. We have a host, Victoria. She is not the same Victoria that used to co-host Those Are the Girls, a different Victoria. That show is out. It came out yesterday, August 19th. And I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great show. And I keep saying this because of the truth. I think it's going to be perfect for a post-Roe America. Talking about how women can be successful. They don't need abortion. And yeah, Victoria has an amazing story, which you can hear on Tuesday's episode of Those Are the Girls. I interview Victoria, the host. And so, yeah, this Wednesday's Oops Spoilers, it's going to be Purple Hearts. You guys voted whether I should do Purple Hearts or Look Both Ways first. You said Purple Hearts. So Purple Hearts will be out on Wednesday. So watch that between now and Wednesday if you want to not be oops spoiled. Oops Spoilers is available, like I said, on YouTube and Spotify, and it's visually it's a visual show as well, if you are into that. Let me think what else. A big news. The 2-year anniversary of Those Are the Girls is this Wednesday. I cannot believe it's been 2 years. So much has improved. So much has changed since the foundation of Those Other Girls. We're not just Those Are the Girls, the podcast. We're Those Are the Girls media. We're introducing new shows such as Diapers and Degrees. Oops, spoilers. We'll have a new one coming out in October. I'm so excited, so ecstatic that it's been 2 years, and I just can't wait to see how else God is going to use this and use what myself and everyone listening, what you guys are going to do. If you are listening and you have a podcast idea or a show, a YouTube channel idea, and you want to talk to someone about it, or if you think that Those Are the Girls media could help, please reach out. hello.thosearethegirls@gmail.com, or you can message me on Instagram. Also, too, if you have sent me ideas for like shows or guests, please know that I take those very seriously. If I haven't done it yet, that just means I haven't done it yet. I really do appreciate that. And sometimes I will say, sometimes you guys suggest like really big names that like wouldn't even see my email. I mean, I still try to reach out because like you don't know unless you try. But like, I just also want to say that too. I keep suggesting them. I'm just saying like, so if you're like have, I don't know, Carrie Underwood on, just so you know, like that probably won't happen. Just so you're aware. But I mean, I'm gonna try. You won't know unless you ask. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that's like left reviews, positive and even negative. If there's something that we need to improve, I really want to do that. I want to improve. I want to make this the best show for you, because it's not for me. I enjoy doing this. I mean, I'm gonna talk either way, but I really want it to be a productive conversation. I want it to be productive for you, the listener. It's going to be the 2-year anniversary. We're going to do something special that Saturday. Also, next Saturday, we're going to be going over the book Subverted, how I help the sexual revolution hijack the women's movement. And I mean, I'm really enjoying it. Whenever I think of feminism, I do think of the sexual revolution. And if you know me, I'm not for that. I'm not for hypersexuality. I'm not for pornography. I'm not for hookup culture. I don't like any of those things. I think that is what has ruined our society. That's what's ruined our country. And I'm also not perfect. I have made mistakes, especially in my early 20s, trying to figure myself out in this world. But, I'm very much against all of that. And I think that that's how we got to where we are today. And I think this book is really good because it just talks about how, women having a bank account is not a bad thing. That is not a negative. That is not anything that's bad. I'm 27 years old and I'm not married. I need to have my own name on my bank account. That's just how it is. I know there's a lot of conservatives who are kind of going a little bit more. And all of this is just a response to people have pushed things too far, so then people just push things further the other way. So because I've seen conservatives talk about how like, yeah, women shouldn't even be allowed to vote, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. Especially as a single 27-year-old woman who is going to be single, I'm pretty sure for a while. I mean, who knows? You don't know. But my point is though, like, I'm getting older. I need my own things. But that doesn't mean that the sexual part, you have to be a part of. The women's movement and the sexual revolution were supposed to be separate, but they were merged together. And the book talks about how that happens. And hint, a little bit of it had to do with abortion. Interesting, right? Interesting. So it's a really good book. So it's not too late to join the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, and it really does. You're going to get that. You get access to other things that we have up there. I talk about that date I went on with a guy who said like he asked if I could pay, and then if it goes well, he will pay the next one, something like that. We'll talk about that, and I'm going to start putting a little bit more on there as well. So there's going to be other access things, but also too, you're helping fund Those Other Girls media. None of the money goes to me. Like, I'm not profiting off of this at all. Right now, it all comes out of my bank account. So, so do with that what you will. So it helps pay for the expenses that we have. It helps pay for the way to like market and get this out there, because the idea is we have to get the podcast out there. We have to let people know about Those Are the Girls. We have to let people know that there is a place for them. There's a community for Christian conservative women who like different things, who also like pop culture, who also like true crime, who also like movies, who also want to enjoy things, who want to help people. I'm really excited. I'm going to announce this upcoming week our latest give back project. I think it's going to be something that is that's really going to make a difference. I think it's something that and it can start here, and then hopefully everyone listening can possibly see how they can transfer it to where they live and just do things and just help people. I'm excited about it. So yeah, but that's how we're going to spread the message, is just talking about these things. That's also how we're going to bring forth truth and education. A lot of the episodes, for example, episodes in regards to abortion, we are spreading truth about what abortion actually is. It is the intentional murder of a human being. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't hear that. A lot of people don't hear that language. So this is new and jarring to them, but it's the truth. And we have to get this information out there. We have to, because we're changing culture. This is how we change culture. We're voting. We're going to the polls. We're voting for people who support our values and our beliefs. That's how we're doing it one way. And then we're also changing culture. We are making the difference. So thanks everybody for celebrating and for being here with us for these 2 years. Something really cool is going to happen this upcoming week. So we'll get to that. Well, I really just wanted to go over a couple of things for the TCAP. I feel like a lot has happened in my personal life. Oh, another thing I want to talk about is, I'll talk about it another time. I feel like a lot has happened in my personal life and not so much in the outside life. So let me see. So one thing I really wanted to talk about was the Bama boy that was trying to be in a sorority. But yes, so are you guys ready? Let us get forward to it. Clink. So the story is brought to you from the Post Millennial. Biological male student who identifies as trans denied membership by all University of Alabama sororities. Over the past week, hundreds of students at the University of Alabama participated in Rush Week, vying for spots at the institution's coveted sorority houses. Among them was biological male Grant, who identifies as transgender. Sykes attempted to obtain a bid for numerous stories, but by the end of the week had been denied by all of them. Sykes shared a post to Instagram outlining Sykes' thoughts. Okay, these ads, ridiculous. Okay, sorry, you guys. Quote, unfortunately, this chapter is closed. This recruitment journey is over for me. Being dropped from my last house this morning during primary recruitment at the University of Alabama doesn't come as a surprise, considering out of the almost 20 chapters, I was dropped by every single one of them except for 2 before day 1. I'm hopeful of a future where everyone is welcome for just being themselves everywhere. If you're going through a hard time today, remember that life is too short to ponder on the things lost. Choose happiness. Always look for the positive things throughout life. Move on. See the good. See the bad. Hope for the best and brave the worst. End quote. While Sykes failed to get accepted into any of the sororities, it can be argued that Sykes came out on top when it comes to online engagement. Documenting the journey to Sykes' 1 million TikTok subscribers, Sykes received countless views and comments. Okay, so let me go to this person's Instagram page really quick, because I keep seeing things that say that they are claiming to be transgendered, and I don't think that people are lying, but like if you look at the way this person is presenting, they look just like a male in a dress, especially with the short hair. And I'm not saying that like other transgender people don't look like that, but this person just, to me, really doesn't look like they're trying. It just looks like they're putting on clothes So I didn't think that this person was transgender. I thought this person, because of like when I first looked at it, I thought this person was just gay. Like let me see. I'm looking. I don't see anything where they straight up say that they're transgender. This is just like, even looking at these pictures, it just looks like a guy in a dress. Because, you know, especially nowadays, there's like people who look like they're trying. I don't know how else to say this. See, okay, on their page it says, hi, if you're struggling with your sexuality, don't understand or know how you feel about your feelings, you're not alone. Okay, so that's why I really think sexuality is a journey, make it yours and shine bright. I really think this person is not transgender. I think this person is just gay and he just wants to be involved in women's spaces, which no, boo, no, not gonna happen. I don't think that's a good idea. I hate this with every fiber of my being. Well, first of all, the whole sorority rush thing, I'm like not a fan. That's not really fun or cute to me. Like, yeah. So that's the first thing. But I think that, because I know the TikToks were super popular last year. I know they're famous this year. And I was listening to the Morning Toast and they were talking about how it's going to be a documentary coming up. They filmed a documentary during this year's Rush. And they filmed it, so we're going to kind of see some of the behind the scenes aspects of it. So I'll say that. I think that's kind of cool. Like, I would be interested to see the behind the scenes about like how all of that stuff goes down. But like the whole like, I wore this and this, and then look at the. I don't like that. And I mean, heck, you can even chalk it up to maybe being a teensy bit jealous, because half of that stuff can't afford, also can't fit. So not interesting to me. So that's the first thing. But I'll tell you what, I will fight for them to have their space. I will fight for them to have their rights. I will fight for them to have a house all female to themselves. I might not necessarily enjoy what they're doing, but I'll fight for your right to do it. And I think this is disgusting and terrible that this man, who I'm telling you, I don't think he's trans. I think everybody's saying he's trans because that makes more logical sense to be like, yeah, I'm trans, I want to come in, than to be like, hi, I'm a boy. Because also to Grant, that is a male, like that's not, if that person wasn't trans, they would say that their name was like Gracie or something, but they're saying Grant. So this person's not trans. I don't know why. I feel like I saw somewhere else on Twitter people were saying this person's not trans. This person is a guy. Okay, but now, okay, biological male. Okay, because now I just had this idea. I was like, what if this person is actually a biological woman that is trans to a guy and is trying to join a woman's space? But never mind, that's not. They're saying biological male. So I think if we don't push back on these type of things is going to continue to happen. If we do not push back on strictly women's spaces, and I think it's okay. I think we forget that men and women are different. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I will say that to my dying breath. There's nothing wrong with men and women being different. Our bodies are different. Our minds are different. Some of our strengths are different. It's just, we're different, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And I think go back to the Subverted book talking about the women's movement and sexual revolution. I guess also too, when I think of the women's movement, I think it does recognize, well, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I'll say that, like, I think a lot of women at the beginning recognized that men and women were different. That women, for example, we can get pregnant, so we might need extra time off before we can come back. I think we recognize that, and we just wanted to be able to come back. I think that's what we as in women, I think that's what it means. The sexual revolution gets away with that. It's like, no, men and women are exactly the same. The only difference is, or there is no difference. I've heard people say that, like, men and women, we're just slabs. Like, there's nothing different about it. And it's like, no, there's different. We literally have different biological components. And are you going to sit there and tell me that these biological components are not going to make a difference to other aspects of our lives? No. I think that it's good to push back. And also, too, shout out to these girls for not being okay with that. Grant was dropped from all of his houses. I don't know him personally. He could have been his personality for sure. But I think also partially it's like, this is for women. This is a women's space. And shout out to all those girls. I don't know you, but shout out to you. Congrats to you. Those two, the sorority houses that dropped him at the very beginning, the two that kept him in, I can make assumptions about why they did that. Good on you for denying them for the rest. But like the initial ones that dropped him at the beginning, good on you guys. Seriously. And, there are fraternities. It's not like there's not something for men. There are fraternities. He could join a fraternity if he wanted to. I'm gonna be honest with you, from what I know about fraternities, I don't know if you can like show up dressing the way he dresses and be accepted, but there could be. I don't know. There could be. I mean, especially nowadays. I'll say at my college, I probably would not have flown. At my college, the fraternities were definitely, they were hyper. Well, I wouldn't say they were hyper masculine, but they were masculine. They were pretty masculine. So yeah, so that's that story. I really want to talk about that because I just want us to continue to like push back on this. When you see it, push back. We have women's spaces, especially something that's so sacred as a sorority. You change. If I'm pretty sure Bama has sorority house. At Seton Hall, we didn't have that because in New Jersey, if more than 5 girls live together, it's considered a brothel. So there's that. But I'm pretty sure these girls, like, they have houses. You change in these houses. Is he going to be allowed to change in the house? It's just so many things. So yeah. The next story is brought to you by Culture of Life 1972. Use the code Those Are the Girls 1972 to get 10% off of your purchase. This 1972 necklace is from Culture of Life. You guys love them. Absolutely love them. They have cute accessories. They have clothes. They have this. And I'm excited for the fall lineup. And there's going to be really cute clothes. And I think you guys are going to love it. Okay, so next story. Final story. And then some advice for my college girlies. I want to talk about this, and I might have Mel come on and we do like a maybe even something on the Patreon just to kind of really get into the story, because I think it's really important, because there's going to be more and more things that are going to come out like this. So this is from ABC News. The title is Nebraska Mother and Daughter Charged for Illegal Abortion After Police Obtain Facebook Messages. Okay, so listen to the story and we'll go over it. A Nebraska mother and teenage daughter are facing criminal charges after the teen allegedly got an illegal abortion, and police say the two buried the fetus. While the abortion allegedly occurred before the U.S. Supreme Court overturned a constitutional right to abortion, I'm using quotes because it says a constitutional right to abortion, a state law on the books since 2010 banned abortions in Nebraska at 20 weeks. Norfolk police opened an investigation into 17-year-old Celeste Burgess on April 26, investigating concerns she had given birth prematurely to a stillborn child, according to an affidavit submitted by the Norfolk Police Investigations Unit that was obtained by ABC News. According to the police, Celeste Burgess received help from her mother, Jessica Burgess, 41, in taking abortion pills to end the pregnancy, and the two allegedly buried and reburied the fetus together 3 times at different locations. Celeste Burgess, now 18, and who is being tried as an adult, is facing 3 charges of felony burying and reburying the fetus unlawfully, and a misdemeanor concealing the death of another person and lying to police, according to court records. She pleaded not guilty to the charges. Jessica Burgess, 41, is facing 5 charges of felony burying and reburying the fetus unlawfully, inducing an abortion and performing an abortion without being a licensed physician, and a misdemeanor concealing the death of another person and lying to police. She pleaded not guilty to the charges. Court records show. Attorneys listed for both defendants did not immediately respond. 2 of the felony charges against the mother were brought after investigators were able to obtain records of messages between the mother and the daughter on Facebook, according to court records. Medical records obtained by police show that Celeste Burgess was estimated to be 23 weeks and 2 days at the time of the alleged abortion. Her due date was July 3rd. In an interview with police, the mother and daughter alleged that Celeste unexpectedly gave birth at home in a bathtub/shower and said the fetus was stillborn, according to the affidavit. Celeste Burgess then placed the body of the fetus into a bag and then placed the bag into a box in the back of a cargo van on their property. The two then took the body of the fetus and transported it to the north property of Norfolk, where they buried it. The two voluntarily took police to the scene on April 29th and showed McBride where the body was buried. According to Tanner Barnhill, who helped the two bury the body, the mother and daughter attempted to burn the body of the fetus before it was buried. Oh, gosh. Barnhill, 22, has pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor in connection with the case and will be sentenced later this month. During her interview with the police, Celeste Burgess showed police a Facebook message that indicated that the birth occurred April 22nd, which investigators used in part to get the search warrant, ordering Facebook parent company Meta to turn over messages. According to court filings, which show messages between the two on April 20th, they discussed starting it today. In one message, Jessica Burgess tells Celeste that one pill stops the hormones, and you have to wait 24 hours to take the other. And then Celeste says, remember, we burned the evidence. A friend of Celeste also notified police on June 14th that she was with her when she took the first of the two abortion pills meant to cause a miscarriage. According to court records, an autopsy was conducted of the fetus and an exact cause of death was not determined, but the lungs did not indicate they had ever contained air. Court records also show the fetus had thermal wounds. Facebook parent company Tuesday said the company was unaware the search warrant was for a case involving abortion. Okay. This is a tough story, and it's going around, and the way that it's being marketed is like Facebook, in this post-Roe America, Facebook, careful with your messages. You need to be using all of these burner sites and this and that because Facebook and all these places can turn you over and all this stuff. So it's being marketed in a way that's very salacious and very evil. But first I want to say, like, this is such a sad story for multiple reasons. For one, you know, a death has occurred. That's one reason why it's sad. Number two, a mother helping a daughter murder their grandchild. That is just crazy. Number three, the girl must have been so scared. And it sounds like her mother might have even coerced her. Like, it's such a terrible, awful situation. And it's being used as a political plot. And I really hate that this is happening. I want us to discuss it because I want us to talk about like the truth and talk about like there's a couple of things. So if this conversation does come up again, I mean, this is probably like 2-3 weeks old now, but if it does come up again, because I'm sure it will, so you can have some things just to think about. I want to say Christina Bennett, absolutely love her. You guys should be following her. Black pro-life woman on Instagram. Follow her. She's great. I want to read a little bit about what she said on her Facebook. So this is what she says. Mainstream media sources and social media influencers are in uproar over Facebook turning over private messages to police. This took place prior to Roe v. Wade being overturned. I also want to point that out. This is probably going to be used and said like, yeah, look at what happens in post. This happened before Roe v. Wade was overturned. So this also goes to show like this is wrong. I mean, even if it happened after Roe v. Wade was overturned, it'd still be wrong. But like, it just goes to show like within the, like legally, this is wrong. Like you cannot murder your child, try to burn it and then bury it. Like that's just so, I mean, that's so evil. This feels like a true crime story. This feels so sick. So police subpoenaed multiple forms of communication, including Facebook messages, because of a tip about a stillborn child being buried. After finding and exhuming the body, they discovered the child was burned and buried. Many are reporting the story want people to be livid that Facebook turned over private messages to the authorities. Here we go. Taking pills to cause the death of your preborn child, burning the body, and secretly burying it. It is cause for an investigation and search warrant. That is the truth. This is called, like, taking pills to cause the death of your preborn child. And also want to point out, they said the child was 23 weeks. There are babies who were born at 21 weeks and have survived. Babies feel pain at 20 weeks. Now, yeah, it's just think about that. What would people say if this child was a newborn, burned, and buried? I know they'd say they see comments every day the baby is thrown in the dumpster or filled. This is a horrific act. Horrific as this crime was, there is, she's saying this, as horrific as the crime was, she has sorrow and empathy for the heart of the young mother. It was a tragedy. Let me see, anything else I want to say? Okay, this last part. This is heartbreaking story and not one that should be falsely used and manipulated to blame Facebook and rally for abortion. We're living in the age of misinformation, and media influencers are quickly sharing content to get an emotional response. Some care less about the facts and more about preying on people's emotions to keep their attention and push them to desired action. They will peddle misinformation and half-truths to evoke rage, anger, and fear of their own. Do your research and guard your hearts. She also did a linked a search warrant and everything. If you go to her Instagram and Facebook page, you can see this. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to mention some of the stuff she said. I think she just made some really good points about how this is being used in a negative, being used to rally for abortion. That's really what this is. This is, and I mean, if the reality is, once again, if you were to do this to your born child, even though that's what I think, the child was born, burying and burning that, if your child dies, burying and burning the body, that is a criminal act. That is not okay. If your child, and the other thing is, like, okay, if they're saying the child was born stillborn, why not take it to the hospital? They obtain illegal pills. And here's the other thing too. These, and we've talked about this before, these abortion pills are not anything to play around with. It is not a joke. These are serious things. And it's not okay. So yeah, I just really wanted to go over that and just, take out a few things for you guys to notice. This happened at 23 weeks. The child was 23 weeks, which it could have lived. Number 2, it happened before Roe v. Wade. I think those are 2 things. And number 3, I guess one of the biggest things is, like, burying and burning a body is illegal no matter what. If there was a crime committed, if this person had done it to a 15-year-old child and they had to get messages from Facebook, I don't think anybody would be outraged. That's just, this person committed a crime. So, yeah, that's that story. The last thing I wanted to talk about, I asked you guys some things. College is coming up, and I thought it'd be switching gears. I thought it would be good to discuss a little bit. You guys asked me a couple questions about college. So I wanted to answer a few. One question was, how did you stay focused on your studies in college? I'll be honest, it's really hard to manage, especially having a social life and being involved in things and doing your internship. I think that, if you're in college, know why you're there. If your goal is to graduate and go to grad school, focus on your grades. If your goal is to graduate and get a job, do well in school, but also too, internships. Just about every job or everything that I've ever gotten has been so-and-so said they knew you, or this is who knows this. Like, it's all about who you know. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. I know people don't like to hear that or say that, but it's all about who you know. So, like, go to college and, like, it's hard to balance it all. Some things might have to, slip, and I don't mean, like, your grades. Like, your grades should never, like, focus on your grades, because that's why you're going there. And if you're going to go, you need to graduate. So you need to make grades good enough to graduate. That's very important. But, maybe your social life might not do as well because you're working on your internship. Maybe your fitness might do as well because you're working on your grades. So you have to figure out how to balance it, but you have to also realize that you might not be able to balance it. So, yeah. I hope that answered the question. Is there a specific supplies or strategy to use to stay organized? I think having a planner is really important. I'm the girl whose planner beginning of the year, I would put in the dates of tests, and when they got the syllabus, I put them all in the planner. August, September, most of October, my planner is filled. I'm writing everything down. You get to November, December, not so much. That's on overwhelmed laziness. But I really think that it's important and it's crucial. I think that it is something that you should absolutely have. If you can keep up with it too, that's even better. But I think it's very important for you to have a planner. And also too, once again, prioritizing. I started doing this, I'll say, like 3 years ago. What are my 3 main goals right now? X, Y, Z. Okay, if something comes up and it does not help X, Y, and Z, and I am in a crunch. So for example, like, your friends going to the pool. Okay, my main 3 goals in life, going to the pool is not going to help that. But if I don't have anything else going on, okay, sure, I'll go to the pool for right then. But if it's, for example, if I need to record a podcast or go to the pool, if I need to record this podcast, the podcast is my goal in this season. I'm going to record the podcast. If I can make it to the pool, I can make it to the pool. If I can't make it to the pool, I've done what I need to do. So making that list and prioritizing things, I think, is so crucial. And then another question is about online classes. Online classes are very difficult for me. I am an in-person school type person. I'm not an online class person. I do not like them. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I can really say. I'm just not an online person. So the next couple ones are pretty much about, like, socializing and, like, going out and things like that. And I just want to say something about that. And then I think we'll just wrap up this episode. I want to say that going out it means different things to different people. I think one of the first things you need to do is if you are going to do that, find friends that you know you can trust. And number 2, find your going out style. In a sense, so there's different types of going out. I personally like going out, dancing, and dressing up. That is my favorite thing. Not my favorite thing to do, but one of my favorite things to do. Dancing the night away, some fun music where you don't have to worry about boys. You don't have to worry about, like, looking a certain way. You just go, put on something, you look cute, throw on some lipstick, go out and just enjoy yourself. If you're watching on YouTube, you see me dancing. This is not how I really dance, but this is just what I'm doing for the video. I like that. So, like, if that's what you like, find the people that like that. There's also people who like to go out, and it is about the boys. The goal is to go home with a boy. The goal is to dance in a way that might be a little bit more provocative. If that's not your style, make sure you do not go out with those type of people. Go out with the other types of people if that's not your style. I think that also too, but you're not there for that. So that is one thing I would always say is, like, work hard. I work hard and I play hard. So if I'm going to go out and do that, the next morning, if I have something I need to be up to do, I'm going to do it. I remember, so, like, on Saturday specifically, like, some of my friends and I, especially the ones that were, like, I had one friend that we both were, like, trying to be, like, quote unquote good. So, like, let's say we go out Friday, we get up Saturday morning. All right, let's head to the library, be at the library all day, drinking on water, Okay. Got everything done at 6 o'clock. all right, let's get ready to go. So like, it's just a matter of having your priorities. The going out is fun. It's good. I think it's good to socialize. It's good to make friends. It's good to dress up if that's what you like to do. If you don't like to do, also that's another thing too. If you don't like to do it, don't do it. Do not do it if you don't like to do it. But if you like to do it, nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Have your priorities, and but make sure like it's where it needs to be. It's that priority. We did an episode on Lauren Spears. She disappeared and she went to the University of Indiana. And I'll hopefully link that for you guys. But I want everyone going back to school, because I know it's back to school time, I want you to listen to it and just think about it. She disappeared after a night out. Once again, if you want to have fun, go dancing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that, in my opinion. But I think you need to go out with being alert. I think you need to know who you're going out with. And I think as women, we need to look out for each other. I've shared this story before, but I really like this story, and it always makes me feel just really happy. It warms my heart. One night, it was one of the best nights I had out with two of my friends, and they were both guys. We're walking back to school after being out, and we're, having fun. We're laughing. We're just joking. And this girl walks up to me and it goes, "Hey, you don't have to go back with them. And I was like, oh, it's fine. They're my friends. And she was like, "No, seriously, you don't have to go back with them." And I was like, "You know what, girl? You're so sweet. Thank you. But these legitimately, like, these are my friends. So I'm good. But I appreciate that." And her friends were like, "She's fine. See, she's fine." So the girl went back with her friends. But like, my point is, look out for each other. If you see something, say something. If you see men, if you're out with your guys and one of your friends is being a little bit too much, say something. I think it really does make a difference. And also too, as Christians, we can't shy away from speaking up when something is wrong. And I think that those situations are a great example of doing that, of speaking up, of saying something. So I want you guys to listen to that episode if you're going back to school, just because I think it's really good. Not to scare anyone, but we talk a little bit about different, about what happens. But we also talk about, at the end, we do a little bit of all right, you children. So, but it's all coming from love, from big sisters. It's from a big sister perspective, not from a mom perspective. Even though I say I don't want to mom you, but I love you. If you're listening, I love you, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that listens. I appreciate those of you who've listened for the past 2 years and who have really been supportive. And thank you for everyone on the Patreon. That really means a lot as well. If you're listening and you're on the Patreon, I seriously, seriously appreciate it. And if you're listening and you're trying to go back and forth about whether you should join the Patreon, please do. It helps. It's going to help. It's going to help. The idea is to get as many people to listen to this as possible, so they know that they're not alone, and so they feel represented. And also too, so, the episodes we have, for example, on discussing abortion, that they can hear the truth about it. Thank you everyone for listening. This was just a quick little, just 2 stories that happened in kind of around this time that I wanted to discuss. And then I just wanted to say this thing about college, because I know it's coming up and I saw a lot of people talking about it. So I wanted you guys to get some big sisterly advice. So yeah, thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the others, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe, comment, follow. However you're listening to this, please make sure you interact. It means a lot, and it'll be very beneficial for everyone else too. Also, to check out the merch store and enter the giveaway. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but we're doing a giveaway right now. If you leave a review, and then, for example, if you listen on Spotify, if you just click, if you do the rate and you make sure you follow, screenshot that, send it to hello.thoseothergirls@gmail.com or Those Other Girls Podcast on Instagram, or even Life as Malpal on Instagram. You'll be entered to win any item from our merch store. We have our Anti-Abortion Social Club sweatshirts. We have our Saturdays are for weekly tea caps. I hope you're drinking from your weekly tea cap mug now, if you have one. We have stickers. We have so much more as well. I think that's it. Thanks everybody for listening. Bye.